We're talking about the Alchemist and how we are all alchemists. And we have the power to change our settings, not by doing anything, but by merely changing the viewpoint of which we operate from. And as soon as you change the viewpoint, everything changes, right? So the alchemist is someone who can take silver and make it into gold, can take metal and make it into silver. He can make money from anything. That's the greatness of the alchemist. However, the alchemist has 10 challenges. So the first 5 we went through are, number 1, the alchemist needs materials. He needs to have something. You've got to give him silver to make it into gold. You've got to give him tin, at least that, to make it into an expensive material. But a Baal Bitachon doesn't need anything. All you need in life is very simply whatever you have in front of you. That's what you need. So you look at your life, the current situation, what you have now, and you change that, and that in and of its own is exactly what you need to bring Hashem into the picture. So you want to know how to bring Hashem into your life? Let's talk. Tell me what's going on in your life right now. Tell me what's happening, and we're going to flip the conversation on it, and you'll see Hashem in your life right here, right now. You're the person. Now is the time. This is the place. The second point was that the person with bitachon is completely safe from any type of harm. Totally safe from harm. Nothing can, you can't, there's no smells or fumes that may hurt you in the process. Nothing. Whatever you're doing through, all it is just sitting with the current situation that you have and seeing it in a new light. That's what we were saying, that the problem we face today is loneliness. I feel alone. Everybody feels alone. That's really the issue. We're a generation which is so connected that we're totally alone. When I feel alone, I cannot save myself. And when you see someone struggling, that is most likely the feeling. So the Baal Bitachon is not scared to hide what he does. He tells everyone his process. Talks to everyone. You'll see as soon as you start doing tracht gut, you just talk to everyone about it. You want to tell the whole world about it. That this is so awesome. Look how it works. And you just think good. Everything becomes good. It's amazing. And you want to let people know. Why? Because you also do it. And it works. And I don't lose anything by you also knowing how to do it. Unlike an alchemist who does. The whole point is that he has a secret that nobody else knows how to do. Now, the alchemist, the fourth point about the alchemist was that he doesn't know.
Can you share it with Can you share it with someone? Like I'm just thinking, sometimes I don't share because the person's not ready to hear.
Oh, that could be. Could be. You got to know what the person's ready to hear. Yes.
They're not in a space where they can hear.
Right, and then they need a different thing from you, which is called empathy.
Right.
So you give them empathy. Empathy is the same thing. Bitachon doesn't mean when you tell someone you need to think good.
Yeah, you can't.
That could be sometimes very hurtful to the other person. You don't want to deal with it. Yeah. Sometimes thinking good is to walk into the black hole with them and to be inside. The point is you're sharing and you're not scared to share how things operate. Now, the alchemist has a problem that he doesn't know how much to prepare. So how much gold and silver do you need? Can't have too much, can't have too little. Because if you have too much, where are you going to store it? If you have too little, then you won't have enough what you need. The Baal Bitachon, everything's good all the time. He has exactly what he needs all the time. The Baal Bitachon is, he's worried. What's going to happen if people find out what he does? The alchemist. If people find out what he does, then they'll kill him. A Baal Bitachon, he loves to share with people. He's not scared of competition. That was the previous one. Nor is he scared anyone's going to get him. But what's the problem? So essentially, the Baal Bitachon is living life, and he just has all the raw materials, everything he needs, and he can just live life in the most incredible way. Remember the mashal, which was the waters, the living waters? The mashal is that dirt, you'd never drink water which was dirty. So if you saw water in the dirt, you wouldn't drink it. And yet, the only water you would drink, the cleanest water you would drink, is specifically dafka, the one that came from the dirt. That's what spring water is. Water of the dirt. Why? The difference is, how do you view the dirt? See, if water goes into dirt and the water is not intentional, then the dirt will dirty the water. If water goes into the dirt and it's intentional, then it won't. See the difference? If you walk into, basically, when the water's underground, the water has a mission to get out of the ground. So when water passes through the ground, it gets out, it comes gushing out. So it's as pure as it could ever get, because his intention was to come out gushing out of the ground. But if you put water in the ground, the water just hanging out there, so then that water is going to be affected by the ground. And so it is with your life. If you walk into life and things happen to you, then you get affected by them and they're going to dirty you. And you're going to get soiled. But if you look at yourself as a shliach of Hashem, a messenger of Hashem, to bring Hashem's word to the world, so what's going on today? Okay, it doesn't happen to me, it happens for me. So I'm not struggling, I'm not suffering. This is what the alchemist, the Bitachon alchemist, is doing. You're taking any situation and you're flipping it over and making gold out of it. By the way, alchemist, full-time job. Baal Bitachon is a full-time job. You want to know what you need to do in life? What's your job? When someone says, what's your job? My job is, I'm an alchemist, a Bitachon alchemist. That's what I do. What do I do? All the time I got to think good. Because in case you think you get it and now you have it, good luck. It doesn't go that way. It's constant work of changing the raw materials in your life into good. How do you do that? You got to get through the stages. Number one, cry it out. Walk right into that dark hole. Yes. Feel the darkness, feel the challenge, absolutely. And then ask yourself, what do you want to think? What do you want to feel? Look into that and start noticing clues how you have it already now. How Hashem is giving it to you now already. That's in a nutshell. And the more you notice them, the more you'll see them. And then the Yetzer Hara is going to say, what are you doing? It's bad. Yep, then there'll be a big conversation going on inside there. So now we move on to number 6.
I'm saying, like, that's a little bit like, let's say, I was just discussing this with one of my kids at home. Because you're saying, what do you mean? If somebody says they want to get married, they're in the hospital. They don't have a hospital. That's what they say they have to marry. You can't always say everything.
But you don't see that as that now. The not having the hustle is good right now. This is no.
Why don't you ever figure out why you want the person? Why do you want to get married?
Right. I don't know if you realize it, but some people are like very wealthy people.
And they're
What?
poor. And they're really poor.
No, I'm talking about very wealthy people, genuinely wealthy people, like billionaires. If you follow them, you'll see when they're 8 years old, they're also billionaires. He's like a billionaire, it's like a mindset. It's like, this is what I am. I haven't got a dime to my name, but I'm a billionaire. And when someone knows they're going to get married and have a good family and everything like that, you just know it. You just know. And then what? Does it happen or not? Not necessarily, right? But you live in that space. It's a space you live in.
But can I just say, like, if someone
Right,
look
she
at my
felt
life
like
and
that.
just hear my story, like if someone would look at my life and just hear my story on Amazon or doesn't know me, they would. I have like the bestseller. I'm telling you, I've like the has everything.
And yet your energy is quite the contrary.
But I don't see myself that way at all. I see
Right.
myself as a smart, feasible, good person.
Wow.
I'm a woman who's accomplished.
Right.
I could help other people.
Incredible. So how does that help you? Does it change your life?
Like I said, it's not. It actually, my life. I've said this before. My life changed. The things even that the offers that people they give me, like the things that I'm doing. It's 3 years ago. I would have.
If somebody tells you, I'm sending you out a check, right? I went to the guy the other day. I asked him for some money, whatever, and he told me, okay, I'll send you $10,000, and
For real?
very real.
No, I'm talking about your fundraiser.
So-
Your fundraiser. That kind of go.
So he said he's giving $10,000, but then he told me it's a company, it's a this or that, whatever. I'm sending it out. It's going to take a month to get to you. That's how long it takes to get through all the processing, whatever. But it's done. Do you know what happened now? I'm done. Do I have the $10,000? No. Do I know it's coming? Yeah. Well, how do I know? Maybe who knows what's going to happen? But Check is in the mail. It's coming. It's happening. Right? That's called living with bitachon. A lot easier said than done. Whatever when you believe it, when you have bitachon, it's coming. The bitachon makes it come. Let's move along. Ve'ashishi, number 6. Sheba'al hakimya eina batuach. On page 20 in the white book. Sheba'al hakimya eina batuach me'achaloim ve'amadvim she'ma'arbim v'olav simchase ve'oshrei. So the alchemist has a problem in that he is not protected from any illnesses that may enter into his life. He could be wealthy physically, but alchemism is only one-dimensional. It's about how much money you have. It's not about everything else, like health. So it could be you'll have all the money in the world, but you don't have the health that you need to enjoy it. So he cannot enjoy what he's got. Alchemism is only in money, nothing else. How beautiful. He trusts in God, he's protected from any kind of illnesses and disease. Now, does that mean you won't have any disease ever? No, it doesn't. What it means is, I'm in Hashem's hands, I'm good. I cannot get a disease, stop. If something happens, what's it there for? It's because I'm in Hashem's hand, Hashem wants to atone for something that happened, or Tamura means to slip over, to increase the reward in Olam Haba. As it says, Ve'yi'afu ne'orim ve'yigo, that Yeshayahu Navi says, that all the young people become tired and weary, uvachurim koshoil yikoshelu. And the youngsters basically stumble and fall. So what does that mean? However, the koivei Hashem yachalifu choyach. Everyone else stumbled, and those who have trust in Hashem will be able to yachlifu koyach, to get a new and renewed strength. So you see what happens? When everyone else can fall and stumble, and someone who trusts in Hashem lives in a space of renewed strength. You'll see it very clearly that, where did I read this, some kind of research, that if somebody is at if you were at a certain age in your life, like 50s and 60s and those kind of ages, and you hit that time, so what? You see some people are very old at that time. You can be very old. And some people at that time are like just as young as they could ever get. And what's the difference? It's mindset, which has a lot to do with relationships, right? If you have good relationships and you have good, like a work, something you're accomplishing in life, and you have something to do, and spirituality, you're connected to God, yes, and you're doing Torah mitzvahs and philanthropy. All that makes your physical body healthy. In other words, you'll see, again, not there are exceptions to any rule, but the idea is you get a renewed strength. When you have Hashem in your life, you are young. You have a koyach, a power. The biggest disaster is to retire. Retiring is a no-go for anyone. Never retire. He teaches? Well, great. That was great. Wow. The Omer, and he says in Tehillim, Kizroyois Rishoyim Tishovarno, V'soymech Tzadikim Hashem. The arms of the Rishoyim, of the wicked, can be broken, but Hashem supports Tzadikim. Tzadikim have that power. So the alchemist Nebuch has one-dimensional, doesn't have any other power over anything else. Alchemism is only for money, not for health. And bitachon is the goodness of everything. Number 7, Vashvi. It's entirely possible that the alchemist will have the gold and silver and not be able to use it. In the Kinnis. What? In the Kinnis we have that. We have Martha Bat Maitis, I think it was. She had all the money in the world, but she threw out the gold into the streets because she said, what's the point of gold if there's no food to buy? So I have all the gold, but I don't have food. So great. It's entirely possible he doesn't have it. So again, it's one-dimensional. He has the money, but not what the money buys. That's the kinnis. They throw the money, the silver, into the streets. That's a time of famine. That's the kinnis. Or Tzfanya Navi says, it can't save you. But someone who trusts in Hashem, he's not trusting about money. See the point? When you trust and you say, oh, so Hashem is going to give me, I want a shidduch, Hashem is going to give me the shidduch. You're not God. Right? You don't get to decide what God actually gives you. Tracht gut wird sein gut is not manifestation. I want a home, a mansion. I'm going to imagine the mansion, I'm going to have the mansion. It's not what it is. It's, I want a mansion. Now, what does that feel like? Okay, it feels secure. It feels accomplished. It feels power, prestige, respect, all that. Okay, now start noticing how you have that now already. That's the bitachon. And then what happens? I don't know what happens. But watch how you'll have it. I don't know about the mansion, but you'll have the it that comes with it. That you'll get.
I had an interesting experience because I recently moved after that, and I was being sent out of my apartment, and anyone who lives in Borough Park knows that it's almost impossible to find a decent apartment that's in decent condition, that's decent rent for today. Anyway, I just decided that Hashem is sending me out, so Hashem has an apartment for me. And at some point I went with Moses to look at an apartment, and it was really dilapidated. And the last time we moved was over 20 years ago. And when we moved, we put a lot of money in the apartment. We realized it was worth it, and that's what we did. And we're in those building now, and then we looked at an apartment, and Moses went next to it. When I think about it, I said, Hashem has something much nicer for me. And I meant it, and then Moses was like, I know what you're thinking, but I'm not planning to put money. I'm not planning to do what we did last time. Like, first I know why there was a fire in this house, because Hashem had to set up a new barbecue. And
there you go.
We each made a list of what my needs and wants are, and one of the things I wrote was I want a garden. So, trust me, I don't have a garden there, but there's a flower. Will not be lacking any food, anything he needs till the end of his time. So the alchemist has a problem. Maybe he won't be able to use the money. But the Baal Bitachon is not about the thing. It's about the divine experience of feeling everything you need. It says, Iev says, in the middle of the famine, Hashem saved you from death. The Omar, absolutely beautiful pasuk, Hashem roi loy echsar. I don't lack anything. The Omar in Tehillim it says, in the middle of a calamity, in the middle of a famine, you'll have everything he needs. And so it says about Yitzchak Avinu, that by Yisra, Yitzchak ba'aretz hahi, vayimtza b'shana hahi, mea she'arim v'yvarachei Hashem. Rashi says, it was a difficult year, it was a difficult land, it was a difficult time, everything was difficult, there was all the reasons in the world why you shouldn't get, but he succeeded beyond his wildest imagination. And so it is that you'll see, right? A guy in South Africa, my brother-in-law's shul. Young guy. My brother-in-law has a shul with, I don't know, 300 people there on Shabbos. In the middle of Johannesburg. Like, young married, teeming, happening place. Like, all the shuls are closing down and everyone's leaving, and this place is just bustling. And one of the guys told me, he says, I said, what do you guys do here? How do you make money? He said, what do you mean? How do you make money in America? In America, everyone's, smart and arguing with you and fighting with you and whatever. Over here, you just look for the problems, and then you solve them, and you make a lot of money. So in other words, where there's a problem, that if you look, you can actually make a lot of success. So you can succeed where everybody else is lacking, and you have everything you need. Hashem roi lo yechsar. The time is difficult, the place is difficult. Okay, so there's something else to do your alchemism on and change it into divine energy. No one can ever say, my life is so difficult. My situation, if you only understood my situation, you would get that it's impossible. Because bitachon is, to really understand your situation, empathize with it, go into the absolute darkness and despair, and then flip it over. והשמיני נבית, שבעל הכימיה איננה מסתכל בשום מוקם מיראת השם יסגל לסייד. The Baal HaKimya, the alchemist, cannot hang around in one place. He has to keep going from one place to another. Why? Because someone's going to find out who he is and what he does, and then he won't be able to continue. Now, if you have bitachon, you sit where you are. The alchemist used to move around from one place to another all the time. Nomads. This guy, no problem. You trust in Hashem, you do good. Shchon eretz, live, inhabit your land. Re'ei emunah. And what you're going to do is you're going to nourish your emunah. Two ways to learn that. Either you're going to be nourished by your emunah, you're going to live on your emunah, or re'ei emunah is you have to work your emunah into your life. So the alchemist, poor guy, has no rest. He has this incredible magical ability to change silver into gold, but as a result of that, he can't stay in one place too long. And you are good wherever you are. Everything's good. Some people have, always marvel at it, like Crown Heights, right? Everybody was leaving Crown Heights in the 1970s. The place was shutting down, if anyone recalls. It was the place where all Jews, all types lived. Lubavitchers didn't live in Crown Heights. They couldn't afford it. Yeah, everyone lived there. They lived in Brownsville. That's where they lived. But all the... No, they bought a house there. The Rebbe was there. And a couple of Hasidim. But everyone else would walk from far. Because they couldn't afford it. All the wealthy Jews, non-from, also.
Big houses.
It was a place to live. It was a place to be. And then the place shut down. Because the neighborhood became a little African. And it became a bad neighborhood. And everybody was leaving. You could buy a house for $5,000. Literally. Nothing. And the Rebbe was like, I'm staying here. Everyone else can do whatever they want. I'm staying right here. At some point he said, all I want is a minyan. 10 guys to stay with me and that's it. I'm not leaving the Rebbe Ratz's shul. I'm staying right here where I am and that's it. Now fast forward. Right now we're about 50 years later. That $5,000 house, good luck getting it for $3 million. Not bad. In 50 years, okay, 5,000 to 3 million, do the math of how much that was worth. And the place is bustling. Still got issues, a lot of issues, but I challenge you to walk in any place. On 13th Avenue at 3 a.m., what will you see? I don't know. It's like over there, you walk in, all the year, there's so many things happening, and the place is just bustling. So when you have that level of bitachon, that's an extreme level of bitachon, you sit your ground, and the whole world dances around you. Okay, not everyone's a Rebbe, but that's the idea. Which means you don't need to worry about everybody else. Everybody does. We live in a society where everyone does everything because everyone else does it, and then everyone moves in, everyone else gets depressed while they're not doing it and all that. That's like we follow each other. Well, a Baal Bitachon is the source that everyone else follows. Because at the end of the day, they're like, oh my gosh, I wish I could be like that. Vachi, number 9. Shebal Akimya, lo telavenu akimya shalei be'achrisai. You don't take it to the grave. And again, very one-dimensional. It's going to save you from poverty and the need to beg. A Baal Bitachon lives and dies with his Bitachon. It accompanies you in the next world also. When someone trusts in Hashem, he is surrounded by kindness and by chesed. Now, we're going to pause here and take a look at this pasuk, because this pasuk is one of the primary sources of the idea of tracht gut wird sein gut. When someone says, how do you know tracht gut wird sein gut? You quote a pasuk, which we say whenever we open the Oren on Yom Tov. It's in Tehillim. V'aboteach ba'Hashem, one who throws his trust into Hashem, what happens? Chesed yisei bevenu. So here's the question. How do I know it's going to be good? I'm trusting in Hashem that it's going to be good. How do I know it's going to be good? Maybe it's not. The answer is because you're trusting in Hashem. That's why it's going to be good. And you say, but I've got so many reasons why it shouldn't be good. Here's what happens. The Baal Shem Tov said that when the Eibishter wants to do something to a person, listen to this. When he wants to get someone, what he does is
he withholds his ability to have bitachon. That's what happens.
Wait, when he wants to do that?
When Hashem wants to
Really test the person?
That's the person.
punish someone, when Hashem wants to do something to a person, basically he can't, so to speak, do it to you, so long as you have bitachon. So what he does is,
That's why Hashem hardened Pharaoh's heart.
yes, but and also us.
Hashem does that to you then?
But listen to this. Correct. I don't think it's like Hashem is doing it. You will see that sometimes it's really hard to have bitachon. Sometimes instead of that, I don't know how to feel good. I don't know how to get to a good space. I'm in such a negative place, right? So what I realized a while back is, you know what I go daven for? I go daven. My tefillah is exactly, and it's part of davening. Allah tzaddikim. What do you say there? The tefillah is, Hashem, help me have bitachon. I'm struggling. So I'm struggling in life. If I'm struggling to find a shidduch, you know what I'm really struggling with? Is the ability to trust in Hashem that it's all going to be okay, that I'm going to find that it's all good. I'm struggling with that. So it's two things I'm struggling with. A, the ability to find the actual shidduch, and B, the ability to trust in Hashem that I'm going to find the shidduch. Daven and ask Hashem to help you have the bitachon. Because that's about Hashem Tov's point, right? When Hashem, he, so to speak, right, can't do anything, kivyachol, right? In other words, it might be very difficult to have the bitachon, but rest assured that all you need is a bitachon. And sometimes it's very hard to believe that. That means your bitachon is being withheld from you when you find it hard to believe. Exactly. Habitach ba'Hashem chesed. What? What did you say? Why?
Why did that resonate so strongly with every person? Obviously, each person in their own way, but it was a unanimous.
Because that's what Hashem said.
So
It's like
then-
a way that we get
So
tested.
we're all very special people, I guess, because
I guess Hashem really wants our
strong, and that's what I'm saying.
And what?
Hashem really wants our bitachon.
Because Hashem tests us.
When you're having a hard time having bitachon, again, what is that?
Any test comes
That's,
from desiring
but
bitachon.
right, when you're having a hard time having bitachon, that is dirt, and what you want to do is push the water through it so that it should be even more pure.
And then sometimes you can't push because it's like you can't breathe anymore because of
But
pushing.
the only way to get through it is to push.
Correct, right? I'm just saying.
Bitachon is not,
You're sitting in muddy water.
bitachon is not push, it's more like pull.
Oh,
Oh,
I think bitachon is not like, it's like pull Hashem into your life, exactly.
right. Pull the other way back.
Bitachon is, okay, you talk to yourself and you say, hey, Bubala. He'll say it in the moment, right? That's the, I love that mosh. Literally, like a Bubala. Like, Hashem, I got you. I didn't say your life is good. I said your life is a disaster. But I got you.
yeah, and then it takes you from that dark space.
Yep.
Like
Because
what you
sometimes
said,
maybe a
exactly
person
what,
first
what,
gets-
And
what
that's
you
the
said.
Alchemist.
That's exactly what you said today. You missed what-
I don't think that when you have a child who is not keeping Shabbos and not keeping Tisha B'Av, that the idea of having bitachon means that, oh, whatever you do is good, it's all fine, it's all great. I think that there has to be a chedva tkiya b'liboy misitra do, b'chiyah misitra do. There's got to be there's two parts to this. There's one part is that I'm crying, I'm lamenting, I'm crying the fact that you're in this position.
Not physically. So we don't want to cry.
Not in front of them.
Yosef HaTzadik, when he wanted to cry, when Yosef wanted to cry, what he did was he went he walked into, he was working with his brothers, he was trying to save them, they were off the derech. They had sold him. That was pretty bad. So he's trying to get them to do tshuva. After he reveals himself now, he misses out on the whole thing. But he wanted to cry. So he went into the room, he cried his heart out, came out, restrained himself, and kept doing what he was doing. So I don't think it means that we should become immune. And we say, okay, so if my child is not keeping Shabbos, that means I don't care about it. No. You know, it says that it's like,
You can't live here.
None of us
correct. So,
here, and then we're out of the room, like you said.
And then be normal.
right, I'm saying that
Otherwise, we can't function.
the work of the alchemist is to take the raw material that he has and flip it and trust in Hashem.
Right.
And he's
It's just going to bring them where they need to be.
But if the alchemist starts becoming happy with the current situation, then there's no raw materials to flip.
Not exactly
goes in your head.
Trust me, if you're doing walking and telling people out of reality, then she be the
Good.
It's completely
But I can't live in that space. I do it. Sometimes I go into that dark space and I cry with Eibster and I
Then you're
course I
good.
do.
Good.
But I can't live that way. So
Yeah.
halachically, because I grow
I
up.
just say I don't think it's any different to living with non-from Jews, right? When I grew up, no one. I mean, my father was working. So I remember slowly to get this guy to become Shem Shabbos and that guy and whatever. But we used to walk outside, and I just remember everyone was driving in their car. Hey, Rabbi, they don't know if the Rabbi arrived, but Rabbi, good Shabbos. And we became immune to it completely. We had an Orthodox shul, was from. When you walked into the shul, you were from. But when you walked out, you drove your car. That's how people did. So you become immune to it. My father made up that he's not telling anyone good Shabbos if they're driving a car. So the guy driving alongside the rabbi walking, good Shabbos, Rabbi. It's like ignoring him. Whatever, we can argue the point, right? But I'm saying, what?
Is that the right thing?
But the point was, for a simple reason, I don't want to become immune to the fact that driving is a problem on Shabbos.
But we can't do that
So-
to our kids.
So when it comes to your kids, don't tell them that. So, but there's nothing wrong with me living in a space of feeling that.
Yes, because
It's-
I will be sad, and that's not a way of serving the Eibster.
So you need to do, as you know, in Tanya he says, spend when you have Averis things. You know how you solve Averis, how you get over them. He says what you do is you jump for joy. Every time you do an Avera, the solution to doing Teshuvah is to jump for absolute joy.
So that's what I'm doing. I'm living
Correct.
with joy.
Then, well, if you're going to get depressed over the Avera, you'll do another one. So don't get depressed. You did an Avera in the middle of a war. Jump for joy. Get excited. Yes, Eibster, I get to serve you and do something good for you. That's the work. Which doesn't mean that you don't do.
Doing Averis, like we said, they're
I'm just giving you an example. And then comes Thursday night. He says, sit down on Thursday night, dedicate a time, and you say, okay, now I'm going to sit down and deliberately cry over the situation of the tshuva.
Once a week I should sit down and cry over it. I'm afraid I'll become depressed.
So then don't do it once a week. Do it,
Once a month.
yeah, or maybe do it at your group with everyone together.
That's the only time I
Good.
let myself go there.
Great.
And if you don't go down there, but if you, I'm constantly saying her name, and I
Every
think
time
I'm
you
down,
down, you're down.
Good. The point is, you know yourself. You didn't.
down in the dumps.
The point is, she's not bringing you down. You're bringing her up.
You're saying don't become a meeting.
Hala'ag hashanani mabuz ligeyonim. It says hala'ag hashanani means to mock at those who are complacent. So Judaism is dynamic. It's avoida. Trusting in Hashem means I constantly I'm an electric current. So what I'm doing is pushing electricity all the time. How do you push electricity? You find something to push against and you push. If there's nothing to push against, because if you became used to the current situation, you can't do bitachon anymore because you're just saying it's all good.
Don't worry, Hashem sends more.
Oh, good. Okay, so you're working on that.
Yeah, I'm gonna do things.
Okay. Now, number 9. Sorry, so that's number 9. And the Omar, and it says, Morav tuvcho asher tzafanta li reyecho.
But did Hashem send me more because I'm getting complacent?
Does Hashem send you more because you're getting complacent? No, he sends you more because he wants to get a closer relationship with you.
Right, so this is my child always. If I'm
There is reward in the world to come, even for your bitachon now. That's what it means. Morav tuvcho Hashem tzafanta li reyecho. You'll get it later on also. Okay, the Assyrian, the final one. Shabala Kimya, the alchemist, if his secret becomes known, it'll be the cause of his death. Because what happens is, all his efforts, which is trying to do unnatural things, what happens is Hashem controls everything, and what he'll do is he'll cause someone to come and kill this guy. Because Hashem wants nature. And so at some point, he's going against Hashem's world of nature. And so something will happen, someone will kill him.
So why does Hashem allow him to start to begin with?
Whatever, Hashem allows that to happen, but he doesn't want to stay. Hashem, you're a miracle worker. You're literally working miracles into the world. And you're doing it with Hashem's distinct permission and desire. When it's known you'll be bitachon in Hashem, you will simply become greater in everyone's eyes. People will enjoy and love being next to you and being a part of you and being in proximity to you and even just seeing you. You'll cause for wonderful things to happen in your whole city. You'll cause wonderful things and you'll distance all negativity from your place. And tzaddik is the foundation of the entire world. So when you're a tzaddik, the whole world around you dances with you. And what does it say? That's what loit did in Sarah. Loit basically, think about it. Avraham Avinu asked to save Sodom V'Amorah. No, nothing. There were 5 cities. Loit was living in Sarah. Vayal Loit Mitzayar, right? He was living in Sarah. Sarah was saved because Loit wanted it to be saved. One tzaddik was able to save the city. So now he continues. U'mitayeles HaBitachon b'Hashem, it's the next piece. The benefit, advantage of bitachon is binyan HaTorah with regards to Torah. Ki habitach b'Hashem. Someone trusts in Hashem. Imubal moman yimayir lo itzi cheves elikim v'cheves ben adam imamayne b'nefesh chafetz v'ruach nediva. So now we saw the 10 ways of the Alchemist. Now look at this. There's many other advantages. If a person has money, what's he going to do? He's going to do good things, and he's going to buy mitzvahs. He's going to buy all sorts of things that he needs, a sukkah, a lulav, a tefillin, tzitzis, whatever, all the things that he needs. And he'll be able to help other people with tzedakah, and he'll be able to give b'nefesh chafetz v'ruach nediva with a generous heart. If he doesn't have money, I'm an alchemist, so it's all good. If I have money, awesome. Why? Well, it's easy. I'm able to give money to people, I'm able to do tzedakah, I'm able to buy mitzvahs. It's wonderful if I have money. If I don't have money, so I get depressed because I can't do any of that. No. If I don't have money, what do? I get excited by not having money. Thank you, Hashem. Why? Remember, I'm an alchemist, right? I'm transforming every situation because I'm relieved of all obligations to mankind. I don't have to worry about a thing. No one's going to bother me. I'll just be quiet. Exactly. You have less worry about guarding money, because when you have money, it's difficult to protect it. You have to worry all the time. Worry. There was a pious man, a chassid, who says, God should save me from a scattering of the soul. Explain that. Amar, what it is I should have money by every port and every river over there. I should have money, and that's a disaster. The more property you have, the more worry you have. So who's a rich man? One who's happy with his lot.
So I keep thinking this because I'm the only one of my siblings who's not married that doesn't own a house. Yeah? And I'm the second oldest. They're a lot younger than me mostly. And I keep thinking that.
Exactly. You have no worries. The landlord takes care of it. Beautiful. If someone trusts in Hashem, he gets all the benefit of money, meaning he has his parnas, Hashem will take care of you. You don't have to worry about them and the money. The Chacham said, if you're the owner of the business, you can't sleep at night. If you work for someone else, you go to sleep at night. The Nebuch, the satiety of the guy who's rich doesn't allow him to sleep. So there was once near 770 on Eastern Parkway, there was a Kapistnitzer Rebbe. Heard of him? Back in the day. So one time he was sitting Shiva, and the Rebbe came to visit him. Came to me Menachem Abel. So he was in his basement in his shul, and he came to me Menachem Abel by him. So the conversation ensued. He told the Rebbe that he was in Eretz Yisrael by his institutions, and it was very nice. And they got a conversation about Hasidim having money. So the Rebbe told him that that's good to have money, and he was arguing that it's better to be poor, much more useful in life. And there was in the shiva, the whole argument was about whether it's good to have money or not. And the Rebbe was pushing. It was amazing. He needed the Kapistnitzer Rebbe to give a bracha that Yidden should have money, almost like it was like you saw, like his bracha was critical. And he told him, he says, there's two types of nisyonis. There's a nisyon of having money and having not having money. They both are trials and tribulations. So if they're both are trials, you might as well have a trial of having money because you have a trial, but you also have money. As opposed to if you don't. What? It's a harder trial, but it's good. Anyway, he wanted the Kapishta to give a bracha. And the Kapishta says, B'shumay to not. I don't think it's a good idea. He wouldn't do it. In the middle of the conversation, and I don't know the exact details, so I stand to be corrected, but his son-in-law, who was Rabbi Gerari, was sitting in the room, and then there was a window, and all the Bachrim were trying to, listen by the window to see what's going on. And they were all pushing against the window of the basement, and the window shattered and broke, and a couple of Bachrim tumbled into the room. Like the Rebbe looked up and nothing, just, conversation continued. And then he says, the Kapishta says, Ich darf das nicht. So the Rebbe looks at him and says, but darf das, and darf das, and darf das. He pointed to a few guys. They say every one of those guys became fabulously wealthy. And so the Kapishta says, you know what? But one's fine, I'll give a bracha. So he gave a bracha that the Hasidim should be wealthy. But not me. That was his the maskana over there. So yeah, it's a challenge either way. What does a Baal Bitochen, an alchemist Baal Bitochen, do? He sees every single situation that he has and he says, this is unbelievable. What's unbelievable? The current situation that I have. Right? Because he looks at himself and he says, when I have, it's awesome. When I don't have, it's awesome. Every single thing I'm going through is unbelievable. I want to do one more piece of here and then we'll stop with that. When you have a lot of money, it doesn't stop you from trusting in Hashem. Why? You're not relying on the money. So you know that the money is not yours. You're not relying on money. He's talking to a guy who had a lot of money, and then the real estate changed, and he lost all his money, literally has nothing. And he's like, but I was giving tzedakah, and I was doing this, and why did Hashem stop me? Good point. But you realize you were all into your money. You made like the money into a god, including the tzedakah. It's like, okay, Hashem gives it to me. I use it like $1 million. What is this? Just numbers in your bank account to use when you have it. If it continues to stay by you, you don't rebel against Hashem because you have money. You don't remind people, right, who got you the money. Oh, you got, because of you. I did kindness to you. I did chesed to you. I gave you tzedakah. I'm not looking for anything. Thank you, Hashem, for making me the source of giving people good things. If he loses the money, what happens? He doesn't mourn it, nothing. Thank you, Hashem, for giving it to me. Thank you, Hashem, for taking it away from me. It's all good. He rejoices in his portion, and then he's not looking for someone else to be harmed because I was harmed also, because that's what people like to do. And therefore, no one has only sachman on his own money. You're able to live in a peaceful state. So the story goes that the Balatanya was once approached by a chassid, and the chassid came in and he says, Rabbi, I used to be a wealthy man and I lost all my money, and I don't mind that Hashem took away my money, but what I care about is that I used to give tzedakah, I can't give tzedakah, and I can't, people relying on me, they deposited money by me, I lost the money, there's the dowries of this one and that one I was going to pay, and you know how much is going to happen now because I don't have money. All I'm asking of Hashem is give me the ability to give all the tzedakahs I promised. That's all I'm asking. Isn't that beautiful? The Alter Rebbe put his hands down and he went to a state of dvekus, and then he told him, and there's two lashonos of what he told him. He told him, du sorgst alles, was du darfst, aber zu lieb was darf man dir, wegen dem sorgst du gar nicht. And some read it not zorgst, but zogst. Du zogst alles, was du darfst, aber zu lieb was darf man dir, zogst du gar nicht. Which means, they say, I think it was JFK, who said, ask not what your country can do for you, but what you can do for your country. The Alter Rebbe said, ask not what your country can do for you, ask not what you can do for your country either. Because that's not bitachon. Ask what your country needs that you can do. The difference is, du sorgst alles, was du darfst. You're talking about yourself. All the time is about you and your needs. So, I want to give tzedakah. That's so admirable. It's so holy. It's also your taiva. You want to give money. Yes, but the point is, exactly, Hashem gave it. The point is, are you an Eved Hashem? A Baal Bitochen looks at himself and he says, if I have millions of dollars, that's awesome. I'm excited to give tzedakah. I'm excited. Then the next year when I don't have, this by the way is a lot easier said than done. Because when someone loses their money, it's really hard, and it's the most difficult thing in the world. Like, why did God take away the money from me? My mom have some. I have big questions about why Hashem took away money from certain people. There was just such big value stock, and then He gave it to someone else, and the guy doesn't know how to part with his money. I'm like, what are you thinking, God? Good, I got that. So I'm feeling a little bit distressed. Weiter gefahren. I get excited that Hashem gave me money. I get excited that Hashem took away the money. I'm excited by everything because I'm an alchemist. An alchemist means every situation. This current situation is the best thing in the world for you. You can give tzedakah, it's awesome. You cannot give tzedakah, it's also awesome. Everything's awesome, and then life becomes awesome.